rotate that out. So I'm going to pull out a fingertip for each digit, and I'll deal with the claws after the fact. I want to make sure that that top edge is aligned with the top of the digit. And since I really didn't spend a lot of time sculpting out my feet, I'm not too stressed about trying to hold anything in particular just yet, because I'll end up sculpting that on the new mesh. All right. This is what I hate about new versions. Let me go ahead and save my scene. Let me escape out of the walk mode. Let's go ahead and bring out that next fingertip. Rotate that out. Yeah, well, that's the thing. I know there is the quad draw inside of my 2014 Simon. It's just that it's not as developed as it is in 2015, and it's really the functionality and the changes that were made in like the make live feature and the additions to the quad draw in 2015 that really sealed the deal for me. That I was like, okay, this is an awesome tool, enough for me to go, okay, I'll change my workflow around a little bit to accommodate that tool. So one last duplication for the back toe here. Let's rotate that around. Scale it up. Yeah, give it a shot. I mean, install 2015, keep your 2014, but try it out. You'll find it's a good tool. So I'm going to take all of these digit tips here, do a mesh combine. I'm going to take that edge, edit mesh, edge extrude. Even that out. Pull it up. Scale it out. And then get it into position. Same thing here. Hit the G key to redo the extrusion. I have to rotate that out. Let's scale it up. It got a little wonky there. I tried to even it up. So let's see if I can change that to local or normal and see if that helps me out. Actually, it's this guy. I don't think that's going to do it for me. If not, I'll deal with it the way that it is. Yeah, I don't want to do custom. Maybe do. Let's try that. Yeah, not worth it. Just go object. So what I'm going to do is just to maintain that shape, I'm going to rotate this out. Bring that in, and then rotate it back out so I don't lose my shape. There we go. 2 down, 2 more to go. See if you guys have any questions. No, you guys are doing good. I have to do the same thing here and rotate it. So I do want these flattened out. And back around. Bring it up to the base of the digit. Let's scale it up. You know, one thing that's always funny is I always get my, like going between Maya and ZBrush, always getting my hands to remember the right shortcuts, switching brains. I was working in ZBrush this morning, early this morning, and so my fingers are wanting to dance like they're inside of ZBrush right now. Just pull that in. And bring that up. Let's go ahead and angle this up a little bit too. Grab these two guys, let's pull those in. All right, so I'm just looking for the basic shape of each digit. Now that I have this, I'm going to save and then delete my history. Then let's go ahead and append poly. And let's go ahead and use the bridge instead. Actually, not that bridge. I'm sorry, this append polygon tool. That'll work better. You know, and with the hitting the Y key to repeat, with the addition of ZModeler inside of ZBrush, let me turn off my reference. There we go. Now I bounce between the terminology inside of Maya and ZBrush. Bridge, append poly, because they mean different things in both functions. I'm going to need to produce some pre-recorded material for you guys tomorrow, just as a heads up. Just because there's I want to go through hard surface accessories, and I'm afraid we're not going to have time. Retopology can eat up quite a bit of time. So I want to do that stuff for you guys still, and I want to have it for you this week. But I want to do that off recording or off of live class. All right. So now that we have this, we need to resolve the bottom of the foot. Bottom of the foot can typically be relatively messy. I'd say there's only a couple things I want to make sure that I have in the bottom of the foot, and that's all the flexibility that I need here. So I need to be able to close off these, or to bend my digits. I need to have a little bit of like flex along this direction in my foot, so this can collapse, the front and back of the foot can collapse. So I'm going to drop in an edge loop here and here. Then let's go ahead and append poly here and here. So that's going to give me a little bit of flexibility in the foot. Let's also go ahead and append poly here and here. We'll have to end up making a hole here, so I'll need an additional edge loop. Right here, so I can form that hole. Plus I'll need this additional edge loop to append to on the bottom of the foot. So let's bring that back. Let's come down to the bottom of the foot. Back to append poly. And I'm going to end up with a try here, which isn't a horrible thing. If I really want to quad that out, I can add an additional edge loop here, but I don't mind that back toe having that additional edge loop. I kind of mind these front ones having varied geometry. I want these to be consistent, and this minor inconsistency isn't too much of a big deal. So I'm going to live with the try in the bottom of my foot. All right, now let's take the foot and the arm, mesh combine. Let's take all of this and do an edge extrude. Scale it down. Actually, let's even it up first. Scale it down. Let's move it into position. And move that out a little bit too. And I'll have to probably do some work here inside of ZBrush to get that to look right. That's what ZBrush is there for, though, so that we don't have to sit here and move poly by poly. All right, or vert by vert. All right, I think we're okay now.